So we do have some updates regarding the 8 passenger situation, and more specifically regarding Pam Bodtcher. Now, Pam Bodtcher is a name that we mentioned very briefly, like about a year ago when we kind of first were made aware of Connexions, but never really spoke about since. That's mainly because we didn't really know too much about Pam Bodtcher at this point. We hadn't really heard about her up until recently, and then within the last couple of weeks, people were kind of questioning, like, Pam Bodtcher's involvement in this. She's the president of Connexions, it literally says it on their website, and then we were made aware that on the day of the arrest, 2 of the other children were with a family friend. A lot of people were questioning, was this Pam? Now at this point we do know it was Pam, we spoke about that a few videos ago, but just recently, over the last few days, there's actually police body cam footage that's been released when they went to Pam's house, and a lot of it is out there. They've been uploaded into like 7 different videos on the KUTV YouTube channel, so if you do want to watch them in full, I'd recommend going over there. But I've put them in chronological order, and we're going to go through them today to see what Pam's reaction was to apparently first hearing about Ruby and Jodi and what they've been doing behind the scenes, and let me just say, she doesn't really seem shocked. Okay, so the first video was a police officer on the phone to someone who knows a lot more about the situation than he does. He has just been told to detain Pam Bodtcher and try and find out more information before more officers come that are more aware of the situation. And I will say, as we go through this, it is very clear that this officer doesn't really know much about the situation at all. It had just happened. He's just been told to go to Pam Bodtcher's house.
So what's going on is we got a call from DCFS because St. George PD got a call about 2 kids that were found locked up in a safe and tied up, and it's siblings, and the suspects are the parents.
Okay, so straight away, it does seem like, from the information that we are made aware of now, that not all the details were really known at this point, clearly, right? Because as he's telling this officer, he's saying that the kids were found in a safe, tied up. From the stuff that we have been made aware of, we have seen the police reports now, that doesn't seem true. What I assume has happened here is that information has got mixed up because there was a safe room that was found. The kids were tied up. We are, like, made aware of that now. So I think that this person has just heard, like, the kids tied up, safe room. He's mixed that together, said the kids were tied up in a safe. But like I said, that is just based on what we have been made aware of from the many articles on the police report. Now, in the next video, we actually see the police officer knocking on Pam's door and telling her that she is going to be detained.
Hello, Pam. How are you doing?
Good.
I'm Officer Hawkins, American Fork Police Department.
Hi.
So, we had a agency assist out of St. George in Springville that we're just looking for. Okay. When you picked her up, what was the case? Did somebody ask you to pick her up, or did you just pick her up? What was going on?
Well, I'm having guests coming, and she came and did some cleaning for me.
Yeah, this seems to be a big theme with the families involved with Connexions, doesn't it? That, like, the kids just have to do labour all the time. I mean, the neighbours of Jodi Hildebrandt have said on multiple occasions now that the kids would be out in, like, absolutely scorching hot weather doing, like, gardening and stuff for Jodi. It's mentioned in a bunch of the footage that we're about to watch that Ruby had, like, a family emergency. She rings Pam, says, like, look, can you look after the kids? And then Pam says, oh yeah, I will say yes to that because I need some housework done. She says that a lot in this. She never says that her thought process was saying yes because something, like, scary is happening, you know, like a family emergency. Of course I'll help you out, I want to make sure the children are okay. She just constantly says that there's housework that needs to be done, so yeah, I guess the kids can come over.
As of right now, I'll just need you to give your phone to your husband.
Okay.
Okay? And as of this moment, you're going to be detained right now, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so
what
is
does that mean?
is there anything on you?
No.
Okay, perfect. Just put your hands in front of you, okay? Just gonna place you temporarily under arrest. Okay? I'll explain to you that
What are you guys doing?
Okay, so at this point, they put Pam in handcuffs, they take her to the police car. Again, it is made very clear that this police officer doesn't really know what's going on. He gets mixed up with who's actually involved. He's saying, like, oh, it's like your kid's involved. He doesn't know clearly what's going on. I guess in his defense, he does say, look, we're just gonna wait until DCFS comes and they can talk to you. They know a lot more about it. He's just kind of being told to come and detain Pam Bodtcher.
So today, your daughter in St. George was hooked up with DCFS on a possible child abuse. Okay.
My daughters? Are you sure you have the right daughter?
Yeah, so as he says there, your daughter is facing these charges. That's not true, obviously. We are made aware of that. It's not her daughter. It's Ruby and Jodi, her friends, her business partners. There's a lot of mix-up involved in this.
Is Ruby Franke's daughter.
Okay.
And she's a friend of ours. She comes over and helps me every once in a while to do cleaning and stuff.
Okay. So this is what happened, okay? Her parents were in the situation of a child abuse allegation.
Okay.
DCFS made the report and went to the house and found children malnourished and locked in a safe. Okay?
In the safe?
In a safe.
Now, one thing I do find interesting, and I could be looking too much into it, you can tell me if I am, but this is the only part that Pam seems to be shocked by the news, right? She's not shocked that Ruby's been arrested for child abuse, like allegations and whatnot. She's not shocked that the children are malnourished. The only thing that she's shocked about is that they were locked in a safe, which wasn't true, hence why she would be shocked. But I think it'd be very interesting to see what Pam's reaction would have been if the police officer just said that they were tied up. And see if she actually would be shocked then. Or maybe she was aware of it. Like, it seems like she would be aware of it, right? She's very close to Jodi and Ruby. They've been friends for many, many years. They are business partners. She is literally listed as the president of their company. And again, one thing that is very clear throughout this is that Pam never seems to ask how these other children are that are involved in this situation that she now believes were locked in a safe, which wasn't true again. But she's been told that, and she never asks, like, how are the children?
You're just detained. You're not placed under arrest just right now until they figure out what's going on with their part. Okay?
Okay, right.
So as long as she's not tied up and bound because you
I did make her scrub
do something,
I did make her scrub the floor and
Again, very weird behaviour, making jokes up about it. He said, like, look, as long as she's okay, she came here willingly, she's not tied up like the other kids were. And then quickly she makes jokes being like, oh, well, I made her scrub the floor, which, again, is weird in itself. But either way, it's not the time to be making jokes. You have just been told that the siblings of the children that you're currently looking after have been tied up and they're malnourished, and the people that were looking after them, i.e. the mother and the friend of the mother, have been arrested due to child abuse allegations, and now you're making jokes? It doesn't make any sense, does it? Now, this next video is very interesting, because DCFS actually show up and they start questioning Pam about how she knows Ruby, what their relationship is like, and it also gets into the topic of connections, to which Pam all of a sudden doesn't really know much about.
How did you start to know the family? How did you guys meet?
the Franke family?
Yeah.
Through a program called Connexions. It's a kind of a life skills type of thing.
Life skills type of thing. Not really sure if that's how I would describe it. I mean, especially Ruby Franke's part in it seems to be a lot about parenting, which wouldn't really be a good thing to mention right now since, you know, these allegations have came out. But yeah, obviously, as we're all aware, if there is one person who should be able to give you a very good description as to what Connexions is and what it's about and what it involves, it's Pam, you know, the president of the company, which, by the way, she never mentions. She never even mentions she has anything to do with the company, really. She says that she met Ruby through the company. I think it is very important to mention the fact that you're the president and not just someone who showed up to an event.
What type of things do they do with the program?
It's like life skills.
Life skills.
Like learning how to, you know, it's like be honest, responsible, and humble. Those are those three pillars of their program.
I mean, if you mention the fact that her motto is honest, responsible, and humble, it sounds like a very nice program, doesn't it? They're very key words that you could say to get maybe a bit more of a positive reaction. But if she actually went into the details of it and said the type of stuff that Jodi and Ruby have been spewing for years, the advice that they've been given to other parents and how they should treat their children, it's not going to bode well for this whole case, is it? Hence why she hasn't mentioned it.
Is there like a meeting place for you met, or is it kind of a virtual
No,
thing?
it's online every Saturday morning. It's called Empowering Joy.
Empowering Joy. I mean, if you mention all the key words, it sounds like a fucking great program, doesn't it? Like, it makes you think, oh, maybe I should join that. And that's honestly what Jodi and Ruby have been doing for years, hiding behind these key words that sound good, right? Honest, responsible, humble, empowering joy, all this stuff. But when you get into the nitty-gritty of it, and we hear what these classes are like, and the type of advice they give to people, the way they've manipulated many families and many relationships over the years, trying to destroy people's lives, them key words don't really hold the same meaning anymore.
I mean, I didn't know her really well because she was in the program, but I didn't really know her. But I've known her probably really well, maybe 3 years.
Is this like a program that she started, or is it just one that she kind of...
She's just a part of it.
She's just part of it.
Like, surely this is the point where Pam has to mention she's the president of the company, you know? She's just been asked, is this a program that Ruby started, or she's just a part of it? Surely your answer should be to that, oh, she's just a part of it. Actually, Jodi started it, someone else that I know, and I'm the president of it. completely doesn't mention it. Now in the next couple of videos that I'm not going to show because they're interacting with the children, they go to the house and they tell the children that they need to get their stuff from, like, Pam Bodtcher's home and whatnot because they're going to have to leave. Like, it is fucking horrible. You can only imagine, like, what is going through these kids' heads at this point when a bunch of police have showed up, they're hearing all this stuff about their mother being arrested and whatnot. It must be incredibly overwhelming, and to say the least, right, I don't even know how to describe it with words. But after this interaction, Pam Bodtcher actually left the Connexions Facebook group very quickly. She's refused to give comment to multiple, like, news companies and whatnot. She hasn't really spoke about it since. We haven't heard anything from her. This is kind of all we really have, which still does beg the question, how much does Pam Bodtcher know? I don't think we're going to be getting any honest answers for that anytime soon. I mean, clearly she wasn't very honest in this conversation. And look, I'm not exactly a body language expert by any means, right? I know nothing about body language or anything, but the way she acts in these videos, it's very fucking weird to me. Like, she's not shocked by a lot of the information apart from the one that wasn't actually true. She's also making jokes throughout. She's not honest about her involvement in Connexions. She doesn't mention it at all. It seems very sketchy for me, in my personal opinion, but I would love to know your opinions in the comment section down below on everything that we spoke about in today's video. And yeah, I'm gonna leave it there. So if you're new, subscribe and all that stuff. Obviously, I'll give you the updates when we get some more information. And until the next one, I'll see you guys in a bit. Alright, goodbye.